Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pearls of Wisdom with Katharina. I have a moon reading today for you. It's a quite special reading today again. You can see here on the left side there's nothing, absolutely 180 degrees. There is absolutely nothing. And all the clusters are on the right side. It's also, when you look at the numbers on the right side, there's no yellow. That means we have no air. So it all feels a bit heavy. And it's really interesting when you look at that, how it really looks like something is completely shifting. The moon is in Scorpio. You know, many who follow me, or also others who are kind of starting to doubt the Western tropical astrology, have heard that there is actually a 13th sign. You also know probably that the word month is derived from the word moon. And if you look closely, we have 13 moon cycle in a year. 13 times 28 is 365. So one day, and this is the shifting of the energy. So the month is connected with the moon cycle and has nothing to do with the solar cycle around what we call 1 year. So they are two different cycles. And when we look here now, the 13th sign hidden here in Scorpio after here, this is the star, you can see here Antares. And here is the border that you see Scorpio diving away from the zodiac line. And I don't want to go into details, it's not the topic for today, but you can see that the moon is in this part of Scorpion. So the topic of Scorpion is death and rebirth, but it is not death in a physical body. Like, we are born, and the first part of our life is like childhood and first experience. And then we go through a transformation within Scorpio and are reborn, which is then Sagittarius. And if you look closely at the arrow symbol of Sagittarius, we have the arrow penetrating the horizontal line. That means that we are shifting our consciousness into another dimension, from underneath the horizontal line to up, because the moon also, Jupiter, is standing on the horizontal line here. So the soul is moving forward into a different consciousness. So we can compare that easily to the caterpillar, the butterfly caterpillar story. When we move into Scorpio, and this is now once in everybody's lifetime, and usually connected as also physically with the menopause. When we are dying in a way to be reborn, we leave the youth behind and become wise, or an elder, whatever you want to call it. So to go into Scorpio means you give up. You let go of many things that you've had before. Is a transition into something else. And we can see those who are familiar with more mythology, the journey of Inanna. When she went into the underworld, there were 7 steps she went through, and the last one was kind of to give up her physical body. And then she is being reborn as her own daughter. Now, in this time, when we have the moon here in this part, we can also say that's the part inside of the cocoon where we are not alive. It's like this transition, like we are more in a anesthesia or something. We are not conscious in a way, and then we are reborn. This is the part that we are moving through now. And we can see also, because of Neptune is out here, that people do not really understand what's going on. And this is a very significant problem that we have in the moment, because people are not connected anymore with the true cycle of life. We are not natural anymore. We are normal. We are put in a norm, in a belief system that has actually not much to do with our real and true life cycle. So the moon here, the soul, the information that is going on between the human ego and the soul is also, like, in the moment, not comprehensible. that people don't really understand. And, you know, I can compare it to that. I like to watch some videos with Cryon, with Carol Lee. I just love his messages. And they're very, very much encouraging. If you'd never heard of him, I would really recommend you to check in. Cryon always said, you don't know what you don't know. And first I said, what are you talking about, you know? But the thing is that humans tend to always have expectation out of the experience of the past. So they are not really open for anything new, because it's not possible to really experience anything new if you always base your expectation on the past. So when we are moving from one dimension into another one, now imagine just the picture of moving from a caterpillar to a butterfly. The caterpillar cannot know what it is to be a butterfly. And we are in this situation. So all the questions and all the struggles don't help us. And we have a very clear challenge here with this triangle that we have from the sun to Neptune. We will not know. We don't understand, and we cannot see the future. And this is so important to understand. This helps us to surrender. This helps us to focus on what we can do now. And what we can do now is here with the sun. Now the sun in Taurus. Now, you know, when the winter is over and you prepare the garden for a new year, you have also to get off all the old stuff, and you kind of use the hark and everything to prepare the garden for the new year. And the garden in Taurus here, you see the sun is at the end of Taurus already, is already quite prepared. We have done a lot of preparation already. A lot of weed and a lot of stuff is gone already, and even some leaves might be there. We might even have already planted some little shoots, but there is no, see in Gemini, there are no blooms yet. The interaction also between the bees and the flowers has not happened yet. This is when the flowers come up, but even if you have a flower, you still don't know what the fruit will be. So in a way, we can say, looking at this chart and at this challenge that we have here, it's really the question here is, do I want to prevent to move into something new because I'm stuck in a norm of expectation that something from the old will repeat itself in the new? Now, we don't want that. And this makes a lot of sense when we understand now also here the orange line, which are connected with the karma. We have Chiron Mars also in Pisces at cusp 8. So we have Pisces, Neptune, no? Neptune and Pisces are together. Then we have the cusp of 8, which is the house of Scorpion. And here we have Mars, which is the energy, our energy in the world in general. And we have Chiron, which is the healer. Now, we need to heal means we need to become whole. We need to become balanced. We are out of balance, and the reason why we are out of balance is when you look in the past, is very clear. You can see the feminine and masculine energy chaos that is happening in the moment right now. And the interesting thing, even with all the transgender and all that dramas, they haven't found a third gender. There's still yin and yang, and it will be like that. So it's kind of funny to observe, but it's kind of sad to look at people who fall into these kind of very weird traps. This is very important to understand, because if we fall into these traps, it's very difficult to get out. Most people will not find the way out. So the reason why I stop here for sharing a moment is just like to emphasize. Now, just imagine we have in the original energy that we exist in the two poles of yin and yang. And everything that exists is in existence, mean has stepped out. Existere is the word of stepping out of unity, is either yin or yang. So there is nothing that makes sense what is happening, because the moment you have incarnated, I have incarnated, I have chosen my gender, because this is what is not balanced yet. So I'm here in the body of a woman because I need the last part of the balance that I need to ascend in the higher frequency is the female energy. If you're born as a man, the last step that you have to make to move into the fifth dimension, you're born as a man, you are meant to have an experience as a man. If you feel more female when you're a male, and if you feel more male if you are a female, it only means that the past incarnations that you have imbalance of too much male and female, that's why you are more at home there, and that now you need to step into the other side and balance it. That is very, very important to understand. Okay, so let's go and share again. So you can also see that here are the orange lines, no? As I said, so to heal our energy is that we first of all accept what we are, and accept that this has a very specific meaning, even if Neptune here, it is unclear and you maybe don't understand why. It's okay. Again, you don't know what you don't know. Like when you came here and you have agreed to balance something, this is not all conscious, because how can we know everything here in the third dimension when we cannot even see behind the next curve? We cannot solve a problem on the same level where it's been made. We always have to go up and look down and have an overview. And this is what is happening now with us, because we cannot see in the moment. We are within a process. We are climbing that mountain. We don't see the mountain anymore. And this is very, very important to accept. So this will heal your energy. And you see the half square that is coming from here is going to Mercury. And that's exactly Mercury. The mind always wants to understand everything, but you cannot. There is the limitation, because the brain is a program. If you want to stay with the program, then you can become a transhuman and connect with AI, and then you are even completely programmed. I say we don't need AI, we need DI, and DI is divine intelligence. So we can activate within us the DI, the divine intelligence, and our ego might not be always completely happy with that. But that doesn't matter, because the personality does not completely understand, because it is the program. And we are programmed from the past. And again, if what we think generally that, you know, we look at this linear way of things and we project the past into our future, we can still maybe make it a bit better, or make it more sophisticated, more technical, more whatever you want, but it's still a horizontal line. And what we are doing is we come from a creeping caterpillar and we shift to a flying butterfly. The second one we have here is from Jupiter. From Jupiter's coming to Venus and to Uranus. And here we have a similar topic. You remember Uranus is the input. Uranus is an energy that is coming in, and at the same time it's going up. It's that connection between our higher self and ourself. Whenever we have a block up here, we move the energies away from us. We try to block it. There is a blockage. That means on one side there is too much energy, and on the other side there is not enough. And this imbalance also will lead to what we call illness. And illness, again, is imbalance of energy. Now we need to heal that. We can see here, we need to heal our energy balance, and we need to let the inspiration, the divine, we need to let it in so we can manifest it. Now see Venus as the creator planet, creative planet, love planet, spirit materializing. When we push it over to Uranus, we have the arrow on top of it. It is like the divine talking through us, and we can manifest it here on the earth. And that is something that people are afraid of. One reason is why people generally are afraid of power, because power brings responsibility, the ability to respond. And our program generally makes this a real big problem. So people cannot really respond anymore because the program, the norm, does not align with our nature. So we have to get out of the norm, out of the program, and become natural again. And again, this is that transformation from normal into natural. Now we have the sun in Taurus. The garden so far is prepared. We are ready to plant. We are ready to step into something new. It's all is prepared, and I think it's just a very short time now until things are blowing up, that everything will shift and change. And here we have the two trines, the gift. See, again, it's not just always a gift that it looks like very positive, because sometimes it can be a very powerful gift to somebody, but it happened, like, as we would say, a negative event. For example, you got laid off, you lose your job. But because you lose your job, you become creative and you start to do something else. And when you look back maybe a year later, you say, oh, the best thing that happened to me was that I was laid off at the moment, because that freed me from the old program and I was able to move into something new. So this is the same with Saturn retrograde in Capricorn. It might look from the outside what we are losing or what is going away from us. It might be hurtful, it might be painful, I agree. But then we have to mourn and we have to let it go to be able to plant the new. And the other here, the other trine we have here is from Mercury to Pluto, and both of the planets now are retrograde. And again, it is like we cannot comprehend that transformation, which is good, because maybe people would be afraid, because generally people are afraid of what we don't know. When something is in the dark, okay, I need a light to get there. Many people don't have the courage to step into the dark. But when you look at the soul here in the underworld, in Scorpion here, we are in the dark. And we have to wait, simply to wait. The most important thing now is just be and wait. Do the best what you can in the moment. Do your daily things that you have to do. Try to be nice to people when you have an opportunity to help somebody. Do that, but don't try to manifest or materialize something, to make plans for the future. In the moment, it's not a good time maybe to buy a house or to move away, or just wait for a moment till things are more clear. With all this Neptunian energy that we have in the moment, we cannot see what is happening. We cannot make any decision for the future in the moment. And once we relax into this state and say, okay, so why don't I enjoy the time? Have a good meal, do something what you like to do, go jogging, go walking, play with your animals, paint a picture, whatever you like to do. Be creative. You can dream about what you would like to have in the future. Dream about, visualize a beautiful world with healthy flora, with healthy fauna, with healthy animals, with healthy human beings, having fun. But don't manifest anything yet physically, because it's not the time yet. It's like, you know, when in spring, I remember when I had my garden and we planted in April and started to do all the things. And then in May, when we had the, what do you call this in English, the ice saints, you know, in mid-April, we have those, like, usually it's a frost again. I experienced really many times that my salad was frozen then or something like that. And this we want to prevent now. Don't plant the sensitive stuff yet. Just wait. Things will be clear afterwards, and then they grow much faster. Then it's not like it's warm, and it goes down a cold, and a lot of things die. Those things we plant, or we still have them maybe in the window garden or inside the house, the little plants, before we put them out, they grow much faster afterwards. So it's very important to accept and be at peace with everything what is now in your life. Do the best to make life good for you and for all involved with you in this part of life, and wait till energies are moving forward. You're coming out of this cocoon and you're being kind of reborn in a higher consciousness of responsibility. Then you can start to respond. Then you can start to do. Then you will not recognize the new world, but you will start to cognize the new to move forward. That was tough, right? It was also very important that I was very clear to make things understandable. So I hope this helps a little bit, because I see a lot of confusion and I feel it within myself too sometimes. Please share the video if you like the information. Give me that little thumbs up, and we'll talk soon again. I will have a new moon reading for you soon again. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.